Hey everybody, it's Nick from Android Headlines, and this is our review of the OnePlus 3. Another summer, another OnePlus flagship, but this time around things feel like they're a little bit different. OnePlus has been known for pushing the spec to price ratio for 2 years now, and they're back with what's likely their best device ever in many ways. For an incredible $399, you're getting an unlocked dual SIM device with some seriously killer specs. On the front, you'll find a 5.5 optical AMOLED 1080p display with the slimmest bezels the company has pumped out yet. Underneath the hood is a cutting-edge Snapdragon 820 paired together with a whopping 6 gigs of RAM. No, that's not a typo. Inside is 64 gigs of internal storage with no expandable support, as well as a 3000 mAh non-removable battery. That 7.4mm thin frame houses a fairly sizable camera hump, and inside that hump sits a 16 megapixel Sony sensor. What you'll notice instantly when comparing the phone to other OnePlus devices is the build quality and design. First off, this thing is built like a tank and feels as premium as any other top-tier device could possibly feel without carrying the fragility of glass. It's metal everywhere and it feels unbelievably solid with a satisfying weight of 158 grams too. What's not so hot necessarily is the design itself, but that's not to say it's a bad design in any way. It just looks like random Android phone number 672. Gone are the telltale signs that this is a OnePlus phone, and in it is a phone that looks a lot more like a mashup between an HTC design on the back and a Meizu design or something similar on the front. There's no sandstone material anywhere on this metal body. You only find that in one of the official cases sold by OnePlus. The buttons under the screen definitely look like the ones from the OnePlus 2 though, but just a little slightly modified. This capacitive touch home key is flanked by nondescript capacitive dots that can all be customized, and housed in the Fingerprint Scanner is the absolute fastest fingerprint scanner on the market, bar none. There's zero delay when unlocking the device. It's literally there to use the instant your skin touches the glass. It's very satisfying and feels great. You can swap out these for on-screen software buttons if you'd rather have that too, leaving the home button as a fingerprint scanner and nothing else. Another genius design by OnePlus from last year was thankfully saved and applied here too. That's the priority mode slider in case you were wondering. This ties deeply into Android's priority notification modes and can be customized as well, giving you a 3-way toggle switch to move between your preferred notification modes. All the buttons are super high quality metal too, and just to show how thoughtful OnePlus continues to be with design, 3.5mm headset jack and USB Type-C ports are all located on the bottom so that your cables are all in one place. Above these capacitive keys on the front sits a gorgeous AMOLED panel that OnePlus calls an optical AMOLED panel. This 1080p display looks phenomenal and definitely beats the screens used in the past two flagships hands down. What's different here from a Super AMOLED panel is more of the calibration of the saturation and color, all of which look more natural and clean as opposed to Super AMOLED's tendencies to be oversaturated and high contrast. Don't worry though, as those beautiful true black levels are still here, and it's nice and bright in most situations too, just don't expect to see it very well in direct sunlight. Performance is exactly what you would expect from a Snapdragon 820 device too, and this one actually tops all the benchmarking charts, likely thanks to that ultralight Cyanogen Os skin sitting atop Android 6.0 Marshmallow. Even the VR performance is fantastic here despite the fairly low resolution 1080p panel in 2016. A low persistence rate means less motion sickness for those who suffer from such things, and it also will ensure a cleaner picture when movement appears on the screen during VR. Of course, being only 1080p means that you'll definitely see pixel structure here since it's so close to your face, but it's not too bad, and the performance increase for having a lower resolution on a mobile SoC is likely worth it in many regards. NFC has actually made a reappearance here after being absent in both of OnePlus's phones from last year, which is really good for anyone who enjoys both the features NFC brings and of course that mobile payment system that everyone seems to be moving to. Battery life in general was pretty average, and although I was able to squeeze like 6.5 hours of on-screen time during a crazy YouTube binge fest, most days only got me around 3 hours of screen on time when I was actually trying to use it the entire 20 or so hours that I was awake. OnePlus' new Dash Charge feature is here to save the day though, and charges the phone ludicrously fast. 10% charge happens in a whopping 5 minutes or less, and 100% will happen in about 45 minutes total. It's pretty surreal to drop your phone on the charger, take a shower, and come out to see it nearly at 100% battery. This is some really good stuff. Sound output is great in general, which is good because audio FX from previous flagships is totally gone now. A depressing change from OnePlus other phones and one that I will sorely miss. It's only 16-bit audio too, and no aptX support for higher quality Bluetooth audio either, so audiophiles probably need not apply here. Software-wise, the experience is fairly bare bones with a few visual tweaks and feature additions here and there, but that's sort of the beauty with OnePlus devices nowadays anyway. Sure, the company started off on a completely different note with Cyanogen Os' rich feature set, but now they're going for more style over substance, I guess, and what's provided here is definitely gorgeous in every way. That blacked out theme looks so good on the AMOLED panel, and slight customizations here and there brings things into their own. Just don't expect a full-fledged theme engine like most flagships seem to offer nowadays. OnePlus hasn't always been that great about timely updates though, so don't jump into this one expecting something like an Android N update anytime soon, or even this year if history tells us anything. Back when the OnePlus One launched, it broke new ground in many areas when it came to camera quality. It absolutely raked in the details of the shot, utilizing the latest generation Sony sensor at the time, and now OnePlus has returned to Sony's latest generation 16 megapixel sensor with a slightly smaller 1.12 micron pixels for that rear camera. This sensor is absolutely phenomenal in almost every light, and OnePlus software backs up that experience. The user interface is familiar but excellent, offering quick swipes between photo and video mode, while more advanced modes reside in that left-hand swipe-out drawer. The camera software is super fast in general too, and not only launches in under 2 seconds for quick shooting, but generally focuses very fast and accurately too, thanks to the phase detection autofocus built into the sensor. Details are nothing short of phenomenal and gave me exactly the amount of detail that I would expect from a 16 megapixel sensor. OnePlus has also added in a new Denoise algorithm that they have been touting in their marketing, something that I would normally scoff at, but is actually quite a positive thing this time around. The Denoise filter here takes out noise only when it really needs to, and leaves it in when the details surrounding that noise would otherwise be erased. It's a far cry from the overly heavy processing we see from some other brands like Samsung, and provides a stunning picture quality overall. Auto HDR works quite well in general, and that clear image mode from previous OnePlus flagships has actually been renamed to HD Shot this time around, which might help for marketing purposes if nothing else. As a plus, both of these modes are completely instant this time around, no processing needed during the shot or afterwards at all. Just point and shoot with any mode you like and you're done. The front-facing camera did a good job in pretty much any light, and I really have nothing to complain about here at all. Video mode left a little to be desired though, and while it delivers crisp 4K video, I found some weird compression artifacts on that 4K video in some places that I really haven't seen on many other phones except for maybe the HTC 10. The OIS on the sensor also doesn't seem to work quite as well as other flagships either, although of course we'll leave those specific details for our comparison videos and for you to judge for yourself. Overall, this is one incredibly solid phone and one that absolutely delivers the title of 2016 flagship killer, unlike last year's OnePlus 2. Price is something you definitely have to factor in with everything else, but for $399 it's really hard to argue with any shortcomings the phone has, and I would easily recommend this over any flagship unless you have some very specific needs. Those wanting instant Android updates should obviously stick with the Nexus 6P, and those wanting more feature-rich phones will likely find spending maybe $200 or so extra will give them a better option in those big-name phones. But if you just want a solid device that's built incredibly well, has a great feature set, and doesn't cost an arm and a leg, you're looking at the device to buy thus far in 2016. We hope you enjoyed this video and will subscribe for all our future content. Check us out on your favorite social media outlet, and don't forget to check out the site for 24/7 Android-based news coverage. Thanks for watching, and until next time.